June is Indigenous History Month in this country. It's been 10 years since the Truth and Reconciliation Commission issued its 94 calls to action. 12 of them were focused on education, and that's what Deanna Sumanak-Johnson reports on. This morning, she takes us to a Toronto area powwow that celebrates diverse Indigenous cultures and identities.
The late Marie Sinclair said, "Education got us into this mess, education can get us out of it." And in the 10 years that have passed since the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, educators across Canada have been thinking about that question. What can they do in schools every day to talk about residential schools, to talk about Indigenous culture and way of life, so that students of all backgrounds can do better in this department than their parents did? Well, this Indigenous Learning Centre in the Peel District School Board just outside of Toronto hosts annual powwows, a great way for kids from all the local schools to come and experience Indigenous cultures, dancing, and to learn more. But teachers and Indigenous education leads that we spoke to are saying it's not about just special events like this one and like the Orange Shirt Day. It's about embedding that knowledge, embedding Indigenous ways of knowing into everyday lectures. Have a listen.
I think it really shows the importance of education and how education is really pushing us forward. When I was in school, when my mom was in school, we didn't learn about residential schools. We didn't learn about true histories. There was never a powwow in my school board or at my school. So the fact that we can share this with students from various backgrounds and from diverse identities is really important, and it really shows that they are true treaty partners because they are learning with Indigenous people through gatherings such as this.
One thing they're certainly not lacking in is enthusiasm on part of their students. Students we spoke to come from all kinds of backgrounds. This is one of the most diverse school boards in Canada, but they're saying that learning about Indigenous cultures, learning about the history and the present of Indigenous people is something that they find illuminating, empowering, and something that they look forward to every day.
Indigenous background, it's fun to learn. There's a lot of fun things to do, like dancing, gathering around the fire, and it's all about community. And Indigenous people were like the First Nations people that started here first.
And while experts say we still have a long way to go, they see that enthusiasm of students, the fact that they know much more than their parents' generation did, as a hopeful sign that education can be a key part on the road towards reconciliation. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Cheltenham, Ontario.